Test, test. I have no idea. It just decided it was going to pick a different mic. I always use this mic. I don't change anything. Anyway, well, let's try that again. And thank you, Hawk Crypto Mining, for the $4.99 super chat. I appreciate it. Well, let me go back through the roll call. Travelers Travels, S. Chain, Cooking with Kaiser, Hawk Crypto Mining, Pineapple Pizza Travelers, Alexander Fleener, Geek of All Trades, thank you for being a member. Integra Guy, thank you for being a member. Padawick Miner, Obvious Miner, Automatic Beats, thank you for being a member. Crypto Tito, if I didn't mention you already, thank you for being a member, which I had not. Mass Boost, Canadian Miner for being a member. Let's see. Drex123. Yeah, I know, no plaid tonight. It's still a little warm outside. It's in the 50s. It's in the 50s. I could wear flannel, but yeah, no flannel yet. Let's see here. Patrick Glenn, thank you for being here. And the thing is, I had clicked it. Anyway, that like very rarely happens. What just happened. So, the funny thing is I made the comment at the beginning, like, because there was a little bit of a pause. I wanted to make sure I had unmuted it in OBS, and I did, but I didn't check to make sure the meters were going across. Anyway, watch it, Hawk. Alrighty. Let me finish going through here. I think I may have caught most. Tains, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. And thanks to Tains, I have some of the information to share tonight. So again, thanks to him. And Gordon Murray, and second time Lucky Mining. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. I always had to think about what TL standed for. Anyway, alrighty. Yeah, for some reason, OBS decided it was going to change my input device. I have no idea why. But I did remember to unmute in OBS before I started, but whatever. It's max voltage live stream. So yeah, it does need to have technical difficulties to be successful. I'll say that, I'll stick to it. Anyway, alrighty. Well, let's, before we get started, this live stream is brought to you by
FluxPools.net would like to announce a new weekly lottery for loyal miners that support their project. As you might already know, FluxPools is operated by the people from the Flux team as they want to provide a safe and transparent mining experience. While the Flux project does not take directly from the pool, they do give a portion of the fees back to the Flux project because they understand that both the project and the miners are what makes this pool possible. FluxPools has given away nearly 5,000 Flux a month back to miners. The new Flux lottery gives 5 lucky winners $50 each in Flux each week when you have a 95% uptime on your rig. There will also be a bi-weekly winner who maintains 99.5% uptime. That winner will receive 1.7 kilosouls of hash rate for 48 hours to their wallet. FluxPools has also announced a 0% mining fee and 1% parallel asset fee forever. This on top of the weekly loyalty program. You can also earn up to 3 Flux per week. That giveaway prize will be sent directly to the mining address and nowhere else. Furthermore, FluxPools.net has just launched a Neoxa pool with a miner loyalty program where you can earn up to 1,000 Neoxa for up to 1 gigahash each week with 0% mining fee for the first 30 days. Please do not mine directly to an exchange as your rewards may be lost as a result. Come see why FluxPools.net is a great place to mine.
Alrighty. So, yes, I do mine to fluxpools.net pools, and definitely find it very valuable. Like the fact that I get a few extra Flux with the loyalty. I always make sure I've at least, when I am turning off, I am leaving a few graphics cards mining at all times. But yeah, my main ones aren't mining except for overnight when the power's low. But it does, as long as I keep 1 or 2 cards running. And I say 1 or 2 because what if one goes down? Always want to make sure that way I get the loyalty payment. So lately, I think it's gone down to around 2 Flux for 1 kilosoul. And because I'm at right around 2 kilosouls now, I think like 1.9. I don't quite get the full loyalty payment because they average it. So anyway, but it's a nice little bonus. And reliably getting parallel asset payments every week. So definitely like it a lot. Yes, Aragorn Strider, thanks for being a member. And yes, you missed the mic fail at the beginning, but you could always rewind. But don't do it now. Do it later. Anyway, Not quite as entertaining, I think, as a lot of my other mic fails, but whatever. Alrighty, so let's get into it. So I had 6 5700 XTs that I had not been using because I had no way of turning them off and on. And like I said, with all my other rigs, where I could just set it automatically to turn on at a certain time. So I was trying to figure out how I could do this. You know, do I need to get another ATX power supply? And then I had, working with Chum Change, actually, we both had the brainstorm of trying to use a ZSX board. And I was like, oh, that's great. That should work just fine. And it works. I mean, it does power a regular motherboard and, you know, the graphics cards, all that. It works well. The only thing is that when you turn it off, like via a command at the motherboard, the ZSX board is still powering the graphics cards and still powering the system. So you're still getting like 20 or 30 watts at each graphics card. I didn't actually ever test it to see exactly how many watts it was, but it definitely was still, you know, a fairly significant amount of power. Nothing that you would want to just leave there. I mean, you don't want to leave a 100 or 200 watt light bulb on that isn't doing anything. You certainly wouldn't want to do that here. I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm going to have to go to the ATX power supply. And then I'm like, no, there's got to be a way. There has to be a way. So I started doing some digging, and let me switch over to, where did it go? Here it is. Let me switch over to my other screen. Okay, so I happen to be doing a search and just happened upon this video in my search by Heart of America FPV. It's not his main reason for his channel, but it is kind of interesting because he starts at the beginning like saying, yeah, I needed to do this. I'm not really going to go into why. So very obviously this guy's also a miner. He's really into remote control vehicles, aircraft, that type of thing. So that's, I think, the main reason for his channel. But he went into this and he was like, he found something on a Reddit thread and said, hey, as long as you supply 12 volts and a ground to that connector, it'll work. And I'm like, well, that's just a remote control connector, like on the ZSX board. I mean, this is a breakout board, but it doesn't have the other connector. This one would be like an end termination point. But anyway, I was like, I wonder if it'll work. So I actually talked to Matt Electron, and we talked about it, and he's like, yeah, I'll test it out for you. So he tested it out on actually that same exact motherboard. And I was like, okay, cool. So he said it did work. So I'm like, okay, that's excellent. So now I have a way of triggering it. So now all I needed, and what this guy was using, was a smart plug, which I had always thought I could use a smart plug, but I don't want to pull that many watts through it because it's a fire hazard. Smart plugs aren't meant to pull that many amps through them, even though they say they're rated for them. But I mean, how many times have we seen, you know, where a smart plug catches fire because it's not meant for that. So in this case, we're using the smart plug as a trigger. It's pulling like no amps whatsoever, so that you're not in jeopardy of that. And then you plug in a AC to DC adapter, a 12 volt adapter. It can't be a 5 volt. It has to be a 12 volt. We Matt Electron tested the 5 volt. That didn't work. It has to be the 12 volt connection. So so I start shopping on Amazon. Okay, well, I'm going to get an AC to DC converter because I don't have a 12 volt in the house, or so I thought. Another project I was working on was, this was actually a couple weeks ago. I had an old IDE drive that was in, like, you know, it was basically an all-in-one type of package, but I lost the power supply to the actual, drive. So I'm like, well, let's open this up. It's got to be just a basic drive. Sure enough, it was an IDE drive. So I'm like, all right, I'll just get an adapter for the IDE drive and just, basically pull everything off of it and back it up onto a 5 terabit drive. Because this only had like 700 gig on it or something like that. So anyway, so I bought this thing, and actually on Saturday I was finishing all that up, and then I'm like, wait a minute, what does this have? And I'm like, It's Molex. Of course it's going to have 12 volt and 5 volt. And oh, wait a minute. It's a Molex connector, which the ZSX board actually has on it, not the power connector, but the actual remote connector on it. So I'm like, this should work perfectly. Sure enough, it did. I used this over here, this little contraption, basically plugged this into a smart plug. There's the AC adapter, and then took this Molex and put it into the remote port on the ZSX board. And then I just basically tested it with the on-off toggle switch before I actually tested it with the smart plug. But right now, I tested it last night and this morning. So last night I set it to an on way earlier than my normal on time of 11 because it was cheap power last night. So it went on. I was like, cool, let it run. And then this morning when I woke up, I looked, it was already off. So it definitely works. This actually works better than my previous way of doing it through Hive OS, because this one I have the ability to remotely turn on. The other one, doing it through Hive OS, I don't. I have the ability to remotely tell it when I want to turn it on, when I turn it off. So let's say I'm on vacation or something, or I'm away from the house and I'm like, wow, it's cheap power, let me turn it on. Well, I can't do that with the other ones, but I can do it with this one now. So this is a great find. Hopefully this will help somebody, but yeah, it works perfectly. Just get any smart plug will work. Just one that you can set a time, an actual off and on time. I certainly don't know any smart plugs where you can't do that. It's a basic function of a smart plug. So anyway, so that was that. There was something else I was going to lead into with that. Oh, yeah, basically the smart plug it's exactly a relay. It's acting as a relay. The only difference is, instead of having, two wires come together at a relay, you actually are just using an AC plug as the signal receiver. And that obviously goes into the AC to DC adapter. So obviously a relay probably would be a little bit less power because you're losing some, that AC to DC power adapter is generating some heat. But again, completely safe. No worries whatsoever that you're going to cause a fire unless you have a bad AC DC adapter, I suppose. But this one seems to be high quality, so no worries there. All right, well, let me go back and see if I'm sure I missed some tags, and I appreciate you guys when you do tag me. No, I guess all the ones were no sound. Oh, Patrick Guy and haha, fail hard, but we still love you. Well, thanks, Patrick. I appreciate that. Yeah, if anybody else is getting buffering, please let me know. Anyway, so again, I thought this was going to be like really complicated. And when I happened to like look down at this adapter, this power adapter, and went, duh, this will work perfectly. I won't have to rewire anything. And in fact, if you look at this, you could actually use this same thing. Where is it? Right there. It's basically like the 4-wire plug. So you can get a, female to female connection from this to connecting it to the board. So, and that you get a lot of those when you actually order multiple server power supplies from Parallel Miner. So in fact, I do have one of those, and I thought about using that instead of the Molex, and I was like, nah, Molex is, I think, actually a little bit just easier since it'll be solid. Anyway, I just decided to use the Molex instead of using that 4-wire. So anyway, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, at least Techman says he's not suffering to buffer. I know. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Pineapple Pizza went 480 for me. All right, guys, sorry. It is telling me I have an excellent connection, so I'm not sure what's going on. But anyway, hopefully that clears. Actually, let me take a look at, see if any of my nodes are benchmarking right now. Hopefully not. But let me take a look. Let's see here. Let me do a quick refresh. Great. Yeah, definitely a lot of buffering going on. I can see that. Error, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Dang it. And it is not the benchmark that's causing the problem. Alrighty. Well, not good. Let me do this. Open widget. All right, hang on a second, guys. Take a quick gander at what's going on with the computer. Just want to make sure it's not an upload issue. Well, I will tell you what, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to shut down Chrome, see if that helps. It's not. I already checked. The node is not benchmarking right now. I actually thought maybe that was exactly it. So good point, Wooly, because I exactly thought that. But no, I have until my maintenance period, it's 3 hours, 2 hours, and 50 minutes. So 3 hours, 2 hours, and another one at 50 minutes. So unless the one at 3 hours just finished, but this is not good. I do not like it when my stream health is not good. Am I still buffering? All right. How is it going? Okay. All right. Well, we will move on to the next one. Hopefully it gets better. I hope. I thought of that, guys. And that's why I was thinking about actually shutting down Chrome to see if that helped. But if it seems to be working now, we will leave it alone. I don't want to. I already set up all this stuff to actually show you guys. So I showed you guys that. Well, hey, since I've already talked about power, let me show you my bill. So I was wondering exactly kind of what my bill was going to look like this month, because it was way different than all the other months since June, when the power company actually changed the way that they were doing their billing. And obviously I wasn't mining 100% of the time like I was prior to the merge. So I really had no idea. Well, I had an idea, but I didn't know exactly how this was going to look. Didn't know if I was going to be getting some of the same credits as much, since I was only or mainly using power at lower power times. But obviously with their algorithm, or however they calculate this, it must be something general based upon the amount of power that you use, not based upon the cost of the power that you use. So it's been pretty steady the previous months at 4 cents a kilowatt hour credit. So this past month I used basically 2100 kilowatt hours, and my net actually was like 1849, because if you look at it, it's 2099, and then I put 250 kilowatts back into the network. So during the day, even though it was October, I was still able to give power back to the network. So, but my net 1849, take all this, was 6.9 cents is what it was over all the time period. Now I believe I'm still much cheaper than that because I'm using power during the day. So that power is going to be the higher cost, and then obviously the mining is going to be the lower cost. And sometimes on the weekends I just mine at a little bit higher cost, but 6.9 is what it comes out to. So now if you add all of these numbers up, you're going to be like, that comes out to closer to around 8 cents. It's like 7.8, 7.9, something like that. And it does. The difference though is that I'm looking at the net, incremental cost. You know, we have a fixed cost. It doesn't matter how much power I use. I have fixed costs when I'm basically getting electric from the electric company. So my customer charge, my standard metering charge, those are standard costs. They are not incremental costs. And then the other one is the capacity charge. That one is calculated once a year, but it's still a flat cost. It just changes year to year. It changes like right around the July timeframe based upon your greatest power use during the highest demand period of time. So anyway, so that $10.94, the $10.32, and the $3.35, those are all fixed costs. But while everything else isn't. So anyway, when I take those costs out and basically do the math, and I come out with 6.9 cents per kilowatt hour. So I'll take it. I've been able to be profitable with that. So we shall see how long that lasts. You know, as we get into winter, I anticipate that the nightly power rates will go up as the demand goes up. So I will enjoy this very clement weather, you know, basically, you know, 40, 50, 60 degree temperatures is perfect because nobody's using air, nobody's using heat. So that's a really, really good thing for keeping the prices of electricity down. So anyway, thought I would share that with you guys. And like I said, this one big credit of 4 cents really, really helps. And that's this carbon-free energy resource adjustment that was caused by a law that was written that basically said, yes, Mr. Nuclear Energy Industry, we will give you a higher rate for your electricity. But if the actual wholesale rate is generally higher, then you have to pay it back. And so far it has been that situation where we're getting paid back this 4 cents a kilowatt hour. That will end next June. So basically I'll get a 4 cent increase next June on my rates. So, I mean, I'm already right now so cheap, I can't complain. But hopefully profitability will go up by then, and I'll be able to still mine profitably at that point. So anyway, just thought I would share that. Like I said, October was the first full month of implementing this mining, you know, in the off hours at the low power rates. So I really kind of wanted to see how that was going to go. And so far I would say it's a success. And it's I only wish I was able to kind of more delineate how much the cost of power was at each, you know, for mining versus not mining. And that's kind of difficult to do. Alrighty, let me see. I got to find, now that I've been, there we go. Let's see what other, let me look at who has tagged me. And give me a 2 in the chat if it seems like the buffering is now done. Big Wooly. Okay. Pineapple Pizza wins. Oh, closing about 250 tabs might help. It might not. I'm not willing to take that chance. Paddywhack Miner says, tell us more about node maintenance periods. Okay, so a node maintenance period basically is the time between when your node benchmarks. So you don't want to have your node be down at a benchmark, because if it is, it has the risk of being taken offline and going to the end of the line. I don't know if you miss a benchmark. I don't know how soon after that, how many retries there is, but it would occur like one pretty much, I think, right after the other. But bottom line is you don't want to miss your maintenance window of when that benchmark happens. Because if you make sure that you don't miss that, then you stay online and you get your payouts as you would expect. I mean, right now it's 15 days between payouts on a Cumulus node. So it's a long period of time. It's still a good return. It's still over 20%. But yeah, you run the risk. It's, you know, if you have a power outage or whatever, and you don't have the ability to bring your node back up online, yeah, then you get shoved to the end of the line. So anyway, that's what that node maintenance period is. Let me who you something? With Gordon Murray. I'm not sure what that meant. But yes, I am on Chrome. I'm a Chrome addict. What can I tell you? It's what I know. Okay, so Chum Change, can we ask questions? How do I get this Raspberry Pi to frickin' work with this USB compact Gecko Bitcoin miner? It's driving me nuts. I had said I would help you. Helping you while I'm on a stream, I can't really very well do. So, but yeah, after this, if you want to, we could take a look at it. Not sure I'm going to have any more luck than Yeti. I mean, Yeti knows Linux way better than I do, but I'll take a look at it and see if I can kind of think maybe there's something that we're all missing as far as that goes. So Travels. I'm on average billing, just divided my watts by bill and came up with 8.5 cents. Nice. Is that for all in or is that just for supply? Because I would think that would more match up with supply, but maybe not. I actually could pull up. There's actually a comparison, and there are definitely things that do make even just the standard rate vary. This purchased electricity adjustment happens on all bills. So if I have a $10.50 electricity adjustment, meaning higher, I would think you guys would too, but I don't know, maybe it's in the opposite direction. I don't know, but that's pretty interesting. Let's see. Blaine Anderson, besides Flux and Presearch, is there any other nodes you run? No, those are the only two nodes that I currently run is Flux and Presearch. I know others in the community. I know, believe Mining King does a Neoxa node. Not sure if anybody's running an Ergo node, but yeah, I tend to go for the ones that actually have payouts. And as far as I know, a Neoxa node doesn't pay anything. An Ergo node doesn't pay anything. A Bitcoin node doesn't pay anything. So what was that? It's buffering again. Great. I see that. Your YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. So frustrating. I hate it when it does that. No, it's not benchmarking. I already told you that. As long as we end like before 9:15, it will not benchmark. So that's definitely not the case. But I will be putting another node into service in a little bit. Let me this is, I should have looked to see. Yeah, that's doxing. And that one's not. But anyway, that is what that's what I bought for my next node. So it's on its way. I've actually already put the next 1,000 Flux into a node. So as soon as this comes in, I'll be able to load it up and get it running. So yeah, I'll have a fourth node running, and hopefully soon Comcast announced. All right, so we are going to try to kill Chrome and then try to bring it back and see what happens. Wow, it like killed like no data. Wow. Please tell me you're not going to just totally kill my stream. All right, where is it? Chrome, end task. Is it working better now? Or am I still? Okay. Okay. Well, I guess I'm back. You guys were like way behind. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing it. I do not know. I tested the upload speed before I went online to make sure it was good, and it was. this. I'm just going to try to kill everything that could be taking up bandwidth. Yeah, it certainly looks that way. Certainly looks that way. But computer is in perfect shape. There's nothing going on with it. So, all right, I need to bring my tabs back up though. So this will take a little bit to bring it back up, but at least I will be able to. So anyway, so yes, this computer is going to be my next node. So I will get that running probably next weekend. But one of the things I have done on one of my nodes, and we'll be doing it on all of my nodes eventually, is to put Wondershaper on it so that it does limit the speed that it tries to upload or download, but still meets the benchmark. I don't want it to take up everything. So I'll go through that in a second, but let me go. Let me go over some of the comments. So somebody said, Max, it's not benchmarking voltage. It's definitely not benchmarking. So that's definitely not it. But hey, we could like throttle one of them right now. Get out of that. Let's see what other comments you guys have. No, I'd rather not pull up my router so you can see my external IP. Why? So you can do DDoS attack on me? Is that what you're trying to do? Looking into Zen nodes. I'm not familiar with those. I can definitely take a look. Well, it's not Chrome because I just killed it and now it's basically behaving. It's only taking up, 2.3 gig when it was taking up much more. I have 32 gig in this computer, so I'm only at 33% memory usage right now. So it's not Chrome anymore that's doing it. So I don't know what is doing it, unfortunately. But I will keep powering through it, and I hope you guys will all stick with me while we deal with this stupid YouTube. Yeah, dial up. Very funny. Yeah, mass boost. Yeah, YouTube's been dog poop lately. That is for sure. Well, I haven't noticed it, but it certainly seems to be that way. Chum change. It's, I don't even know how high of a number that, let's just say quadzillion, the percent, the browser tabs he has. It is not, because I closed them. I closed them and it's not taking any memory anymore. Yeah, if you leave, please hit the like. Anyway, buffering as soon as Chrome opens. No, it wasn't. It's not Chrome, people. It's not Chrome. And I am not mining anything. The miners are off. That's not it either. So anyway, alrighty. Well, let me, no, I am not Wondershaping this stream. That's funny though. I like that. But here, let me bring up, I logged into my node and I have the instructions down here. And hey, let's go through this one on this particular node. So the cool thing about it is that I have already done this once before. And so I know exactly what I need to do. So I already know heck, I'll run this. So the first thing I need to run is ifconfig. You need to make sure that you know what your mouse. See, if I do that, then I am going to dox myself. So I'm going to take this off screen so I see what it actually comes up as. And bear with me here 1 second. Yeah, it does. Well, no, it doesn't look like it does because it's only looking at the internal IP, not the external IP. I do not see the external IP anywhere here. So let me. So anyway, I ran ifconfig. Sorry, I'm just getting it so that I can see it. And you can see right here, ETH0. That is my Ethernet that I have it connected to. So yeah, my internal IP ends in 187, but that's all you know. So I know that it's ETH0, which I already knew. So now I am going to run this command. Copy that, and then I'm going to paste it over here. I want to make sure that I don't run into any issues of doxing myself, and I do not. So once I run that command, I come to this, and you can see it's already at ETH0, and which is the iFace that, so that's correct. And then I just need to change the download speed and the upload speed. So I want to change the download speed to 3720, which basically puts it at about, why isn't it doing anything? Oh, somehow I'm up here. Hold on. How did I edit this? No, it's still typing it up there. Huh. How did I edit this the last time? Taines, are you here? Or did you leave? How did I get into edit mode? Because I'm in here, but I can't change that right there. It's not like it's an edit. Where is replace, cut text? Well, maybe I won't show you. I thought I had just gone here to change it. Here, let me do a control X. Maybe I did something weird. Let's do no. And then let's try that again. Oh, I don't want that. Let me go back down here. Copy that one more time. Go back to here. All right, so let me just do the back thing. Oh, did you? Let's try that. There we go. Yeah, I don't know why it is not. Let me try this again. No, it's putting it up there. I do not know how to edit, guys, and Taines is not here anymore. So sorry, guys. Almost online. Wow, it is bad. Oh, you are here. Use arrow keys. Oh, that's right. That's what I needed to do was the arrow keys. Now I remember. There we go. Let's try that again now. So 30720. And then down here. Alrighty. Thank you, Zapirate. I appreciate that. And I believe it was just at that point. What did you say? You said then edit. Oh yeah, then edit. Yeah, and I already did that. Then Control X to save. Yep. And in fact, I think Control O actually saves it as well. And that is it. So Control X. Yes. Yes. And that part is done. Now the last thing I need to run is this last command. Yeah, and actually it says you can either do Control O to save and then Control X, or just do Control X and it will ask you if you want to save before you exit. So I did the second option there. All right. So now let's do this last command. And then that's it. And we just wait and see that it actually limits it. So at any rate, I'm still gone. That really stinks. I had so much more to talk about. Oh, you still have me? All right. Some people have it. Forget how to use Pico. Yeah, I did forget how to use Pico. You know, it's funny. We were just talking about, what was it called? It was like a circuit, design program that I used when I was in college. And I cannot think of what it was called, but it was another program that's also called that same name. But when somebody mentioned it, I was like, wait, what? Isn't that a circuit design program? Like, yeah, it was. Anyway. Wondershaper, is that an undergarment for middle-aged women? I suppose it could be, but hey, it works. No, it wasn't MATLAB. MATLAB was well after I was in college. That's like, my daughter used MATLAB in college. This was, I keep thinking it starts with an S, and it like gets there and then I lose it. Anyway, that's right. It'll come to me later. But anyway, so now I've got it running on 2 out of my 3 nodes. I'll eventually get it running on my 3rd node, but I'm going to wait for it to get its next payout in a few days, and then I will run it. Spice. That was it. Thank you, Taines. You were in that conversation. Yeah, Spice. Good old Spice. Alrighty, let me get those out of the way. And so basically went through, what was the other thing I said I was going to do a how-to on? Did that. Thought there was one other thing. Now I got to go back and look at the thumbnail because I can't remember the last thing I put on it. But anyway, it's bugging me now. Let's go to, oh yeah, I can do it here. So I did the trigger on off of power supplies, did the flux nodes. Oh, how to clean your drive. Okay. So the reason why I came across this was I had, basically done what I was supposed to do as far as creating a Hive OS drive. For some reason, it was real wonky. I couldn't do any type of, I would have to do a Hive start shell in order to get into it remotely, as opposed to just clicking on the IP address like I normally could, and it wouldn't start mining. And I'm like, this is just weird. So I'm like, I'm just going to reflash the thing. I'm not going to mess with it. But when you've already flashed a drive, you need to clean it before you reflash it, because there's so many different partitions there. It just is a mess if you want to redo it. So basically going in a disk partition, selecting a partition, and then doing clean will clean the drive completely so that you can reflash it with all the partitions and all that kind of stuff. So that was provided by no other than Brandon Coin. He's got an old video out there where it talks about that. Basically, you go into your command line with administrator rights, then type disk part, and then you can just go ahead and do those commands. List disks, and it'll list all the disks. Then you say select disk, you select the disk, and then you say clean. So it's a really easy process. But yeah, I was like, how do I clean this thing again? It's the second time I've had to do it. But once I did the next one, it worked fine. So I've had no trouble with it since. So anyway, yeah, my 5700 XT rig is running pretty well. I'm certainly not getting the crazy efficiency that a lot of other people are seeing. I'm still around 0.4, even though I match the exact same overclocks. In fact, if I match those overclocks, I get worse efficiency than using the ones that I use, which are lower voltages on the memory. Excuse me. So anyway, just something I came across that it might be useful for somebody. So I wanted to go over that as well. And then, yeah, the build process of the 5700 XT rig was really easy, and you can build a rig now cheap. I got this rig frame on Amazon for like somewhere between $15 and $17, and it's an 8 GPU rig frame. It was like super easy to put together. It's solid. I've had no problems with it whatsoever. Everything went into place as expected. Yeah, I've been really happy with it. I've got 5700 XT, so I've still got room for 2 more. But anyway, I was definitely very happy with it. So so I actually bought 5 Arctic fans for the front of it. And what else did I have to buy for it? I mean, I already had the server power supply. Chump Change supplied the ZSX board. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It was pretty much just the fans and the frame. So already had the motherboard, already had the graphics cards, already had all the cables. So again, it was a relatively cheap build. So all right, well, let me go back to the chat, as I know I've missed a bunch of tags here. And I appreciate everybody that is still here. I see a bunch of people coming back. Appreciate that. Let's see. It was Spice. Oh, Petrigian. If you use a good program like Rufus, it will blow away all the partitions when you apply a new ISO. Oh, interesting. Was not aware of that. Good to know. Hey, Red Panda, how you doing? You missed all the fun with the horrible stream, and it looks like right now I'm buffering, at least according to this. But it says I have excellent connection, so I don't know. My wife looks like she can see me. If you guys, if it's good right now, hit a 2 in the chat. But thank you for showing up, Red Panda. Appreciate it. Thank you for showing up, Zapirate and Alpha Mine, Bart, Crypto Perks, Viper Mining. Part 2. Oh, you are. I am buffering. All right. Well, yeah, it's been really odd tonight. I checked the upload speed before I got online, and it was perfectly fine. So I don't know. The wife says, "Hurry up and finish." Hey, I still got 10 more minutes before an hour. Anyway, if anybody's got any questions, please put them in the chat. I'm going to review to see if there's anything I might have missed. I went over that. Oh, one thing I did over the weekend was I upgraded my wife's computer. I did a trade with the Mining King. Traded him a 5600 XT for an i5 10th gen for my wife's computer. Hang on, let me do that. And what else did I not cover yet? And I talked about the node hardware. So I pretty much have covered everything I was going to cover. So, and actually showed you how I did the Wondershaper, even though I didn't remember all the steps to it by the arrows. So appreciate you guys all helping out with that. Petrigian says, Rufus will allow any drive to be treated as a USB stick for the purpose of flashing ISOs. Very good utility. Yeah, I've been using, as many people have been using, wow, words tonight. Balena Etcher. I was thinking of Belay Mining, and I knew that wasn't it. So Balena Etcher, which a lot of people use. But yeah, when I tried to reflash with that, it just was not working. Well, he didn't, Red Panda, in his defense, he hasn't had it until recently. So yes, he has a 5600 XT. I don't know what he has mining on it, but yes, he does now have a 5600 XT. It's a gigabyte 5600 XT. I mean, it worked. The old gigabytes, the ones before the 3000 series, I liked. I still have two 5700 XT gigabytes, and they are they actually perform better than the Sapphire Pulse 5700 XTs. Go figure. Only difference though is the Sapphire Pulse have a BIOS switch, so I can go back and forth between the BIOS mod and the non-BIOS mod, while the Gigabyte doesn't have that. So yeah, that's kind of a bummer that it doesn't have a, and I am mining, I think I'm mining on the non-BIOS modded on the Sapphires, and then I'm still mining on the BIOS modded on the Gigabyte. I haven't really noticed any difference between the BIOS modded and non-BIOS modded when mining Flux. So go figure. I am doing good on this Monday night. How are you doing, Alex? Although I would be doing a lot better if my stream wasn't crapping out on me. That's kind of a bummer. But hey, I did have the got to keep those odds down of when I actually have problems with the mic. This time I didn't forget to unmute, but for whatever reason, OBS decided it was going to pick a different input, even though I haven't touched OBS. I've not touched the inputs. Nothing's changed, but yet it decided. So as soon as I went into my mic setting and went in there and actually manually went from default to my Yeti mic, it worked just fine. But anyway, let's see. Alpha Mind says, how have you been mining Flux on 6700 XTs? Curious about performance. I have not. I do not have any 6700 XTs, so I do not know. Mark of Warren says, Max, with nodes, do you need only one public IP address and then designated local IP address for each node? In a sense, yes, but basically if you have multiple nodes, you need to turn on UPnP on your router. And I highly suggest, if you're going to run nodes at home, highly suggest that you invest in a decent router. I know too many people that had I've had issues with their nodes going down because of the routers. So I know the only way I could get mine to work was if I set up a DMZ. The port forwarding didn't work. And if you run multiple nodes, they do say you pretty much have to run UPnP. It's not the most secure, but it's certainly a heck of a lot better than running a DMZ. So that's basically how that works. Let's see. Aragon Strider, Max, your streamer, time for backup internet. Yeah, I suppose I could have actually streamed through my my cellular internet. That actually could work because I think it's fast enough. But I don't know. It's usually really reliable. I don't know. Anyway, that's why I think some people hate streaming, because they have to deal with that. Let's see. What other questions do you have out there? pfSense is best software, UPnP, and security. Yeah, if you want to build your own router, or I guess you can buy a pfSense router as well. I know a lot of people have very positive things to say about it. I bought a TP-Link top of the line router because it was way on sale at Costco. It originally retailed for like over $400. Now it's at Costco for $300, but I bought it when it was at $220. So yeah, I have been very happy with it. No, this problem is not the router. I don't believe so anyway. But at any rate, let's see here. I should probably refresh this. See if it comes back. Yeah, there it goes. Okay then. All right. Let's see what other questions you guys might have. Yeah, 8 nodes per one public IP. Yeah. You can't go above that. And let's just say that somebody has been trying to get a VPN working. So basically you'd have your IP and then you could go through a VPN service. That does not appear to be working. At least we haven't figured out how to make that work yet. So right now, still limited to 8. Let's see. What else do we have here? Yes, exactly. It's a pirate set. Or you can make your own router with pfSense, OpenSense. Absolutely. Yeah, the Xfinity gateway is trash. Got rid of mine. Now my nodes are working almost flawlessly. Yeah, I mean, I need the gateway currently, so I just put it into bridge mode and it works fine. So another nice thing is actually the one I got actually has a 2.5 gig. The router I have has a 2.5 gig port on it. So basically I run 2.5 gig from the gateway to my router. So not that I have 2.5 gig speed, but at least if I did, or if and when I do, I'll be able to do that. Oh, and you're back. All right. I guess you were getting some buffering problems. Sorry to hear that. Any way to get more than 8 wallets on one Zelcore account? I'm a pretty basic person when it comes to wallets. So I do not know the answer to that question, but Bart says yes. So sure. Oh, Cooking with Kaiser is 1,000,000% YouTube. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, it appears now like, yeah, now it says excellent connection. So at least that's the case. But boy, did it take a hit on who was here watching. So I don't blame anybody. That's really annoying when you're watching a live stream and it just like craps out. I just thought it was really a bummer because I was really excited to talk about the things I had to talk about tonight. So, and I did get through them all, but I don't know how much actually came through on the stream at this point. I tried using ports outside the range. It will not work. Yeah, I would suspect not. I don't think they want people to run that many nodes. Plus, you get to 8, you could always eventually get to 12,500 and just change all of those into a Nimbus node. And now you only have 1, and then you can start building out more Cumulus nodes after that as you get more Flux. So there's building blocks that basically you can use. Unfortunately, I'm thinking, well, why couldn't they just do like 12 or something like that? So you could actually build all the way up to the size of a Nimbus node and then do that transition. Anyway, but it is nice actually. Mining King did a video about his Nimbus node, and it is pretty nice because you get payouts every 3 days. And while it's not as profitable as having 12 Cumulus nodes, you also don't have to worry about being sent to the end of the line when your node goes down like a day before it's supposed to get its payout, and now you've just lost 14 days because you get sent to the end of the line because your node went offline. With a Nimbus node, it's every 3 days. Therefore, it goes down. You only lose 2 days. So, and the problem isn't that how many times it goes down. It's just the amount of time that's lost when it goes down. With a Nimbus node, if you lose, let's just say in all cases, you lose your connection once a month. Well, you may go from 2 payouts to 1 payout on a Cumulus node. While on a Nimbus node, you may go from, again, every 3 days, 10 payouts to 9 payouts. So yeah. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting, a very interesting observation that he had with that. It made me really think that when the time comes, I may make that transition to a Nimbus node. Anyway. Oh, Cooking with Kaiser sent me a DM of the screen. Now this I have to see. Let me take a look here. Oh, here, I'll actually show you guys this. I'm going to make this smaller so it only shows the picture. There it is. That's a picture of my wife's computer. Oh, wait a minute. I got to put the other screen on. I forgot. There it is. That is the picture. So actually, I upgraded not only the processor, the CPU, I also upgraded the cooler. So now she has an RGB cooler, and it's white to match her case. So, and then of course she has pink lights. She likes pink. Daughter likes purple. What was that? Oh, it looks purple on the screen. Yeah, it's definitely more pink than it is purple. So anyway, thought you guys might like to see that. All right, now let me see what Kaiser put on here. So was I frozen at that point, Kaiser? It wasn't like that was oh, Hawk's super chat is still on the screen. Yeah, it does that. I have to basically set that to time out quicker than leaving it up there forever. So it's a stream what is it called? What is it called? Stream element setting. So I got to change that. Yeah, it is kind of annoying having it up there the whole time. Well, Rude Puts, well, thank you for showing up. I think I'll be off to bed pretty soon because I've been streaming for an hour and dang it. I wish the stream went better than it did. I hate technical difficulties, but yeah, Aragon Strider, RGBs. Let's see. It's still there. Yeah, it's still there. Like I said, I have to, there's a setting to make that go away. And I didn't have it set that way initially. So I'll go ahead and get that changed for next stream, if I remember. Just glad to see me on. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Or was that more for Sunflower Mama? More fun with the difficulties? No, it's not more fun with the difficulties. Maybe for your chit chat going back and forth, making fun of the situation. I suppose that's true. And that's fine. As long as you guys are having fun, that's what matters to me. I mean, I like to share information. And hey, the one thing I didn't share was the crypto markets. That'll bring things down. So unfortunately, let's see, go back to that. We are down a bit right now, but hey, we're still above 20,000 on Bitcoin. We're still above 1,500 on Ethereum. You know, nobody thought it was going to, well, I didn't think it was going to go up from here, just boom. I mean, we're looking, you know, we know when the next halving is, people. It's 2024. That's the next halving. Can't really expect to see much of a change between now and then. I know everybody's like hoping maybe we'll get an interim pump. Ain't going to happen. 2024. Hope to maybe get a little bit of a pump to get some more profitability in, but I honestly think there'll be more people that have been hanging on that will just finally decide to say enough's enough, and not realize that, yes, there's going to be another pump coming. So at any rate, so on that note, oh, so hang on. Bart asks, Max, did you explore any other node projects? I have done brief exploration, but like I said, the biggest thing that always kind of turns me off is no payment. Just going to run it for the good of the community. And yeah, it's my power. Yeah, I'm more into the nodes that actually earn something, earn crypto. And so, and honestly, you guys know I'm all in on Flux. So I'm looking to grow my Flux bag, looking to deploy more nodes, looking to expand into bigger nodes. So yeah, that's definitely something I would like to do. Oh, Cooking with Kaiser, well, he swore, so I'm not going to show it, but said today was the bill about stable coins in Congress. I did not see that at all. So Bart, yeah, I actually have gone over pre-search in the past. I do have a pre-search node currently running. I have thought about adding to that, but I haven't done that yet. I've been more focused on deploying additional nodes. Oh, I should also say I will not be able to run a Nimbus node from home until Comcast upgrades my upload speed. And my upload speed should eventually go to 200 megabits per second. I have the 1.2 gigabit down, and that one is going to go from 35 to 200 when they roll it out in my area. Right now, they've only announced rolling it out in the Northeast. So fingers crossed that it comes to the Midwest soon. So, alrighty. And with all that said, appreciate you guys all for being here. Appreciate you guys all putting up with the technical difficulties. For all that you guys are still here. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so on your way out. If you have not subscribed, please be a subscriber. And again, appreciate all of you and have a good night, everybody.